Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's election forum for the race of Pueblo County Commissioner. My name is Steve Henson. I'm the managing editor at the Pueblo Chieftain, which is sponsoring the event this evening in cooperation with Action 22, the 2020 Commission's Governance Task Force, Pueblo Community College's Center for New Media, and of course the beautiful Pueblo Memorial Hall. A little bit about the format tonight. Each candidate will have a couple of minutes to introduce themselves to you, tell you why they are seeking your vote. After that, we will start a question and answer portion of the program. The questions were submitted in advance by readers of the Chieftain. We will not be taking questions from the audience. Frankly, we've had some really bad experiences in the past doing that, and as polarizing as politics has become, we just don't want the candidates to be ambushed. And so feel free to talk to them afterwards or contact them at any point during the campaign. But tonight we will pose the questions that the readers have submitted. A little bit about decorum. We're fine with you clapping and cheering for the candidate of your choice, the person you're supporting. That's great. But let's please show respect for the other person as well. It takes something special to run for office, being willing to make that sacrifice, and also the sacrifice that accompanies serving in office. So let's respect that, and let both candidates have their say. Okay, having said that, we did a coin flip, and Tom won that, and he elected to close the program this evening. So we will have opening remarks from Sal Pace.
Thank you, Steve, and thank you to the Pueblo Chieftain and Action 22 for hosting this forum this evening. I want to start off by introducing my family who are in the audience somewhere beyond the bright glare of the light. I have my father and my in-laws, Marvin and Lena Valdez. My father is Salvatore Pace, my wife, Marlene, and my three small kids, Wyatt, Carlo, and Delana. And I want to point them out because they are the reason that I do this job. I want Pueblo to be a better community for them when they grow up than the community we inherited. Not that it's a bad community, but we always have to strive to be better. I'm proud of my time in elected office, 6 years of elected office representing Pueblo. It's been fun, it's been challenging, but I think we've had a lot of success as well. In my time in the State House, I was successful on a number of pieces of legislation important to Southern Colorado. Passing the bill to create the Fountain Creek Watershed District, the Pinyon Canyon Protection Act to provide protection for ranchers in southeastern Colorado, working to cut some of the red tape for some of our companies in Pueblo, like the steel mill and the cement plant, passing a bill to streamline the air quality permit process, and also passing legislation to cut government waste. If you look at today's Chieftain, you'll see an example of some of the success I've had as a county commissioner. Working on the Southwest Chief, we secured money to help preserve the line. We've worked hard on I-25 as a Board of County Commissioners, bringing in $150 million for both I-25 and Highway 50. In the future, I plan on working on buy local rules for the county so that local companies get a first stab at our government money. I have a proven record of success and excited to continue it for the next 4 years. I'd appreciate your support.
And we'll now have opening remarks from Tom Reedy.
My name is Tom Reedy. I am running for County Commissioner. I am going to represent Pueblo, not a particular party. I was born here. I attended Minnequa School. I've had many jobs growing up in this community. One of those out of the community is working up in Rocky Mountain National Park, where I learned to do search and rescue, built trails, built roads, did a lot of different things. All these things have helped me to make decisions later in my life. I decided I wanted to attend dental school. I did. I attended Washington University in St. Louis. My senior year, the Army said, "Welcome, you are going to serve your country." This was the time of Vietnam. It was not very popular to be in the military at this time. I served my 2 years there. I re-upped for a third. I wanted to serve my country. After the 3 years, I was honorably discharged as a United States Major in the Medical Corps. I returned to Pueblo, bought a ranch in Pueblo County. I raised cattle, horses, and grew some hay. Again, a steward of the land. Later on, I was asked to join the State Parks Board. I was on the State Parks Board for a period of 9.5 years. 2.5 years of that, I was its chairman. Being a chairman of state parks is like being a county commissioner. You deal with everything that a county deals with and probably some more. These all were the times when I learned what I need to do to be a successful county commissioner. We dealt with large budgets. We dealt with lack of money for the different things that we wanted to do. These are all things that we had to work through and work out. When I was down at Navajo State Park dedicating a new marina, which helped the tax base down in that area, I was driving home and said, how can we work on the issues between Colorado Springs and Pueblo over the Fountain Creek? I came up with an idea we should have a new state park. We've worked on that. It happened. We formed a greenway connector between the two cities, and now we're working on solutions. Thank you very much.
We'll now start the question and answer portion of tonight's program, and Tom, you'll field the first one. A number of Pueblo West residents are upset about the number of marijuana outlets being allowed in that community. They feel their concerns have been ignored. What is your response to that, and how do you see the future of the marijuana industry in Pueblo County?
I feel their concerns were ignored. I'm not sure how many town meetings were held, but I've gone to the town meetings in Pueblo West. I listened to the people's concern. They told me they were never listened to. Marijuana is a legitimate issue in the state of Colorado. You can't really stop it. We were told by the county commissioners that there will be no more pot shops in Pueblo West based upon the numbers that were over there. A few weeks later, maybe a few days, we were told that there might be 10 more. So what is the truth? Is it limited, or will there be 10 more? We need to get the facts out there and get the truth from our county commissioners.
Sal?
The voters of Pueblo County approved Amendment 64 by more than a 12-point margin. In Pueblo West, 8 precincts out of 20, a majority of those precincts supported Amendment 64. We held 3 meetings at the minimum, public meetings that the Chieftain covered and the TV crews covered to put together our rules and regulations. Every single license that has come before the Board of County Commissioners have been noticed in the Pueblo Chieftain. I think Steve would agree that's a good place to notice the constituents of Pueblo County. What we created was a regulated marketplace that's enforceable with our own enforcement agent. We taxed legal adult recreational marijuana, but we're also listening to concerns. We are working on land use regulations to crack down on some very large home grows, a loophole in state law from medical marijuana from Amendment 20. The caregiver marketplace needs some controls in it. We did pass a moratorium, but there are folks who had their application in the application process. And as someone who believes in the free market and private property rights, we allowed the applications to continue, as I think is the American way representing private property rights, but there won't be any more licenses issued other than those in the process until 2016 for recreational countywide and medical in Pueblo West. In some, we've had few hiccups, not a whole lot. The industry has created jobs. It's brought in a lot of tax revenue, and because of that, we're probably going to have rebates on every single property tax next year in Pueblo because we collected more than anticipated. So we've listened to the voters, we respect the concerns, and we're working towards improving the process.
Tom, a rebuttal?
Well, you brought up the issue that I was going to bring up. You seem to be collecting too many tax revenues. We have to figure out how to either refund the money and how much does that cost, how much of that money is actually going to reach the people, what is the cost of return all that money, or do we lower the tax rates that we charge, or do we have a vote of the people to decide what we do with that money and to allow us to keep it. So I think there was a little poor planning. We rushed in it too much. We may have gotten a little too greedy. We saw all this tax money. Oh, let's get all this tax money. We didn't think it clear through, which is why we're having this issue is we will collect too much money. We will have to decide what to do with the extra amount, and that's going to cost us more money. So what have we benefited?
As we mentioned earlier,
I'd like to discourage folks from yelling out at my opponent.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, Sal, do you have a rebuttal, please?
When Amendment 64 was passed, it was with the promise of generating revenue for the state of Colorado and for local communities. Every single tax measure that has been brought to the voters of Pueblo, whether it was statewide AA or a tax measure that Pueblo County put on, was passed by an overwhelming majority of the voters. I think the voters have spoken that they'd like this industry taxed.
Okay, Sal, you'll handle the next question first, and it's a follow-up question about Pueblo West. Can the county afford to take on the infrastructure issues in Pueblo West, such as roads, and how would you feel about Pueblo West incorporating?
Well, I think incorporation is up to the citizens of Pueblo West. Certainly there are some benefits. There's certainly costs to doing it. I don't think it's my responsibility as a Pueblo County Commissioner to tell the residents of Pueblo West if they want to incorporate or not. We have had some success with infrastructure in Pueblo West. Highway 50 east from Wills Boulevard to Purcell Boulevard is seeing improvements. All of Highway 50 eastbound will have a third lane expansion. This is work that was led by the county in collaboration with Pueblo West, generating state revenue. There's going to be a new roundabout at Platteville and North Purcell, $1 million worth of state dollars as well as local matching dollars